Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for All Angles. My name is Andrea Chisholm, and I'm filling in for Dion. Now, 64 years of independence is a big deal for Jamaica. It's that time of year when patriotism, a deep love for country, is at an all-time high. And it provides the perfect opportunity for us to reflect on how far we have come as a people. So for All Angles this evening, we'll be having story time. Yes, it's a fun show this evening, and our colorful panelists will be telling some stories about old-time Jamaica. So joining me now, we have broadcaster Fae Ellington, Auntie Fae. We also have broadcaster Derrick Wilks, as well as Andrew Dennis, also known as Miss Pearly Grandson. They said there's no Miss Pearly's on it.
No, it's not English.
A Jamaican.
It's not English.
Just Miss Pearly.
Miss Pearly.
All right, so we want to start off with some memories of what we now call the Norman Manley International Airport. And let's pull up some images of what it looked like back then. So it was first called the Palisades Airport, built at a cost of £750,000. Officially opened on July 27, 1961, and over 3,000 people, you're seeing them there on the screen, attended that ceremony. And it was later renamed, as I said, the Norman Manley International Airport. Who wants to start us off? What do you remember about Norman Manley?
I just need to make a point. You said you're talking about things from then and now. Clearly, I'm the oldest one here, and I don't like the label that has been put on me because I come from then. But
Are they then?
yes, I'm the then. But seriously, the Norman Manley International Airport, Palisades as it was, had a waving gallery.
Yes.
And so when you went to see off your people, and in the time when I was a child, before I was 10, and I went to see off my uncle, they were most times going to England, right? And you're dressed to go and see them off, you know. Dress, right? And I think I may have even had on gloves that day. Yeah, man. And so when they leave you and go into the departure lounge section, you go to the waving gallery and you stand there and you wait until the plane back, and then the plane take off, and you dip on a waving, you know, or if you see them walking out to go up the steps. But something else I'll tell you, a number of people, my experience as a theatre student at the School of Drama was to go and just sit down out there and watch the people coming in. And it was amazing, right? You learn a lot because it depends on the reaction of people in the waving gallery, whether they really want them to come or they don't want them to come. So you'd see something like, yes, in there, I'm that, you know, I am. Yeah, I see, Johnny! Don't put on weight, don't put on enough weight. Or you'll say, yes, I see that. No, you know. Look, Bakari, so once somebody come. Yes, and that in the picture, and that's in the picture. And it was just amazing to watch these things. And then you also see the people when they're leaving, those who are dying to go and those who don't want to go. So the waving gallery was a big thing, a very important thing in our culture. It was bridging that gap between here you are on the home soil, and then you're going to go away now to this foreign country, which we had learned about because we're getting airmail letters and we're getting the box at Christmas time.
Yeah, I was going to say,
the chenille bedspread. And anyway, let me shut up for a while because, yes, I might be the oldest one here, but my name is going to label me today.
What about you, Derrick?
Well, what I remember about those who were longing to go, Auntie Fae, is that you can't be too eager to go that you don't look back and wave back.
You have to wave back.
Because that was a thing, you know. If you're too anxious, they would shout to make sure that they catch your attention and notice that you're waving.
Wait. You're telling me, so you're talking about the passenger on the plane?
Those
would actually
who
be
are about
on
to board the plane.
Would
you
shout?
have to stop and wave back.
And they would shout?
They can't just proceed to the plane and go take a seat.
Oh, so it's like when the President of the United States, as we may now see, Andrew, they may go on the steps and then they turn back.
Yes.
Turn and wave back.
I remember with dress, you know, remember, so it's not.
You put on good clothes
and you go
You're
there.
Sunday
I
best.
think the first time I went I had on gloves. Those days you wore gloves.
Yes.
So now for airport, and nowadays when we go to the airport,
Now you say flip-flop and
you put on your
shorts
shorts and your marina, you just go drop off
Yeah,
somebody.
anything goes.
And you just go on about your business. But
The whole family event then. Everybody dress up and you pack up in...
so it's a trip.
Yes, 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 yes,
It
yes.
had to be. It had to be because I'm presupposing that in those times, because this is the first time I'm sitting amongst people who I feel haven't felt this young in a long, long time. But what I can tell you though, from the bushes of St. Elizabeth, is that once you're going out of town, is a trip.
Yes.
You're going to be getting this services that the 1 or 2 people in the community who drive.
Yes.
Right? And once you're going in a car, I fancy something that, if you're going in a car, because them back in those times, only 1 or 2 people drive. And so if so you're going in a car now, and then you go 4. Because especially if you come from St. Elizabeth, town 4 them the time, Because you beat down the whole of Porus and the whole of Alava. Come on, so now you have toll where just cut it cross, so quick clock to reach a man. Them the time I want whole day, Cinti. So when them go airport, then get up from early in the morning and pack up and put good.
And then cook.
And cook.
And they have the carrier.
Cook and
And you have the carrier.
Yes.
The carrier, the 3-level
Yes.
containers.
Yes.
So one for beef, the salting, one for the salt. Oh, no, let me buy salting.
Yeah, the
Protein.
food and the salting,
Yes, because remember, them the days when we had to salt food for it to keep. We never have a refrigerator.
There's
So
no
that's where
salting
salting come from.
It
Right?
makes
So, and then you
sense.
have the hard food, the yam and the dashi meat. A nice piece of dashi before I come down here too. The yam and the dashi and the and then who have rice, butter and dumpling and thing and the carrot and so on and so on. The 3 container carrier. But he's right. So you had to prepare. It's a trip. It take long too.
It take time.
And not like no. Mark you with it. I better
We
go
could never
over
even
there.
fast.
No,
We
no,
could
no.
never even fast.
And they never have AC either.
No.
Yeah. But before we go into the vehicle part of it, so I'm happy we remember those days at Norman Manley. We're going to pick up with another point linked to Norman Manley. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Air Jamaica right after this break. So thank you for staying with us here on All Angles. If you're just joining us, we're reminiscing on old-time Jamaica. And in the first segment, we spoke about Norman Manley International Airport, which was named Palisados, and we talk about the waving gallery, people dressing up in their Sunday best, as Auntie Fae put it, just to make sure that their loved ones are traveling to foreign safely. So we're back now, and once you talk about Norman Manley, you cannot not talk about Air Jamaica.
Air Jamaica.
And it was a big thing. I checked the Gleaner archives, and let's pull up the picture of Air Jamaica in the interim. And one of the things that stood out for me was the Minister of Communication and Works at the time. He was called Cleve Lewis. I hope
Yes,
I'm calling his
that's
name
right.
properly, but that's what I saw. And he said, today, the 1st of May, 1966, will always be an important historical date in the development of civil aviation in Jamaica, since it will mark the inauguration of international air services by the government's newly established National Civil Airline. And in addition to that, Donald Sangster was the acting prime minister at the time. And we also have the quote from Donald, which he says, with the coming of independence, it was only natural that Jamaica should seek to have its own transportation links with its neighbors. And Air Jamaica will provide an important first step in this direction. You traveled on Air Jamaica?
No.
I did. Ha!
No, I never travel. But I did watch other people travel on Air Jamaica on TV. I used to see the nice other day. I always have a whole heap of food me here.
Yes.
Yeah, so the meals were proper solid.
I remember the
And
pineapple
not just
upside down cake.
Jesus.
Yes, but let's hear about from Auntie Fae and Derrick Wilks.
Well, you bring up Air Jamaica, immediately I get sad that we lost our national airline. However, it was quite an airline. When the ladies started out, the flight attendants, they wore crimpling uniforms.
Oi.
Crimpling. You'll see it in the pictures that there are of those ladies, and they were fabulous. Lovebirds.
For the purpose of my own personal education.
Yeah.
Crimpling, I don't want to burn like plastic. When you light it, it bubble.
That's gabardine.
A gabardine. No, me always get them mixed up. Me I try.
Because I burned my gabardine school pants.
So you remember? Yeah.
So that was uniform.
Yes,
Yes.
and they went to Canada, they went to New York, they went, and London. Now the London trip developed into something else. There was a fashion show on the London trip.
Ooh.
A fashion show where the flight attendants would take off their uniforms and don their whomever is providing the stuff. It was amazing. And nowadays, you know, get cutlery, okay? The cutlery was real cutlery, not plastic, right? And the meals were real, lovely meals. But, you know, you talk about Air Jamaica, and I can connect with that. And I remember in my early years as a broadcaster, I started in '74, going out to them maybe on the 10th anniversary to do a program. But long before there was Air Jamaica, you know, when you leave, you have to go to England. A BOAC.
Oh, yes.
BOAC.
British, yes, Overseas Airways, BOAC.
Oh, I didn't come across that.
No, you see, that's why I tell you, I'm glad you invite me here, but my think is, anyway, right. Yes, BOAC, and you had Pan Am, right? Anyway, but Air Jamaica came, and we were so proud, and we had some brilliant pilots. I must talk about the pilots. The pilots were exceptional, right? And we lost one of them recently, you know. But let me tell you, the stewardesses, as they were called then we moved to flight attendants. But they were mainly women, if my memory serves me right. No, so I think we had later on some men joining.
A few men, yes. But I recall that we had the record of being safest airline.
Safety.
Oh, wow.
And they called it the little piece of Jamaica that flies.
Ah.
Yes.
So, and as we all know that Caribbean Airlines took over Air Jamaica on May 1, 2010. 2010, that not sound right. 2010. Right, May 1, 2010. So we're moving from air to land. And transportation in Jamaica was a thing. It's still a thing. And when we talk about transportation, I remember coming across this song. You may know it, Derrick Wilks. Let's listen to this song, a section of this song from General Trees. You remember that song?
Yes. Yes. I think that song really captures how transportation was executed in the days, because you talk about packing like sardine, you had derriers in your face, you had people who should have and forgot to bathe. Who are
I think they forget.
and your clothes, put it on your nice clothes, go in neat and proper and come out
Callaloo.
like callaloo.
Yes, sir.
Wet, smelling like everybody else. It was an experience.
What year was that song?
I am not having that right in front of me, but I think it's in the 80s.
Late 80s.
So let us talk about the 60s, please.
Okay.
Let's talk about the 50s, please.
What happened?
Transportation.
What's
so
that? No.
Panova Land.
we had the big old-time buses that navigate those narrow roads, right? And
That wasn't the Jolly Bus.
No, darling, I talk about country, Jolly
Okay.
Bus. Yeah, talk about country. As a matter of fact, there's a man called Mr. Booth, right? He lives in Moko still, and he and his wife, but they operated one of the buses. So in Smithville, where I'm from, the bus would leave either 5 or 6 o'clock. And you catch a bus.
Smithville is which parish?
In the parish of
Clarendon.
Clarendon, the hills of Clarendon. Right, northwestern Clarendon, and you catch a bus. That's it. But I know you alone I catch a bus. Everybody will go out town. Then you have some. You might have 2 chicken and go with them too, right?
Live?
And then yes, and then you and then you have no seriously. And then as you drive through, the top of the bus was so configured to help to carry the market load. So when we catch, I remember when we catch on Boyne's Gate, there was a lady called Stella, and then the bus conductor named Harry. I'll never forget it. And he would come out. He would hang out about Stella, and she said, "Me, I come, ooh!" And you wait, you wait till Stella come down the hillside, and while them pack the thing, then the banana, whatever, they go up on the bus stop.
Is it that bus that you climb? There's a metal
A little ladder at the
back.
back, yes.
And you pack the things on the top.
On the top of a bus.
That.
right? And so that was serious transportation. Other than that, like when we got independence now, remember what year we get independence?
62. Yes.
Well, we celebrated that at Smithville Prime, but then we had a big celebration, what we're now called Lennon High School. It was a common and open space, and we went down there. In the back of truck, you drive, go down there, man. In the back of truck, yes, and everybody bounce, man. Yes, just transportation. And don't forget, mule and donkey. Was a regular thing.
Yeah, man, I can identify with
mule, and we
from
never.
St. Elizabeth?
Yes, and we are hilly, so we don't have bicycle and those things. Nowadays, you'll see some of that there. But mule and donkey are your 2 foot.
So tell us about your mule and donkey days.
Yeah, man,
in St. Elizabeth.
I'm familiar. That was my earliest form of transportation. My grandfather had a donkey, and because of that, I knew about the different things that go into, donkey transportation. Including somewhere go up on him back named Saddle.
Aye.
Saddle sit across the back, and then you have the hamper. We hang on upon the saddle, we carry the weight, and then the feet kick out in front of the hamper. And so the saddle was designed to carry one smaddy. But my grandfather always want to carry me upon the same donkey. So because of that, now him sit down in the saddle, me can't hold in the saddle with him, so me sit down on the donkey tail. So, oftentimes, if me not hold him properly, by the time the donkey start do so, me that I slide off. So most of the time I say, sugar, my grandfather always there. Me say, sugar, me we walk.
You better explain the hampers because people don't know what those are. In the hampers, you have your ground provisions and your produce. And sometimes little pick them in a hamper too.
The milkman. My grandfather was a milkman. My grandfather was a farmer. He used to milk cow and milk goat. And him always go sell milk, carrying milk in the hamper from one community to the next in upon him donkey.
Yeah.
Him go sell milk. Sometimes him have milk, him have jelly, him have pear, and him going to the adjoining communities to sell those things.
Yeah.
How do you sell the milk? Big Jill, half pint?
Buckle.
Wait, and let me just put this in context. We're accustomed to measurements now where we say a liter, milliliter.
Buckle mean the quart buckle.
The quart buckle.
But what Derrick asked about, big Jill half pint, was a measurement we use before we have a liter and then something there. And measurement, I mean, hello, pounds, half pound or so and so, quarter pound or so and so, but fluids and liquids, big Jill. Well, you have other things that is not only fluid or liquid. It's right that you have the big Jill and.
Because I think peas.
Peas.
Yes. My grandma always
that's why I said not just
can.
Yes. And uncle.
So it wasn't a pound?
No. Where you come from?
Well, I think I'm the youngest.
That's it.
In your pocket light, you buy a big Jill of peas.
Yes.
You have a little more money, you buy quarter pound.
So we learned about the transportation and with the jolly bus, and then I also
country bus.
the country bus and the
the truck.
The truck and the donkey tail. And I also let me go to this bite first from Kirkwright, because he had a memory of riding on the jolly bus in the corporate area.
Back then we had jolly bus.
Jolly bus?
It made a noise like this. When it changed gear, it wasn't automatic at the time. Had to change gear, and they were usually green in color. Now when you stand up in the sun in the man, when you stand up at the bus stop and you see a jolly bus come, the sweetest thing. I can remember when I was a child and me used to suck fingers, so me used to get belly pain often. So very often I'd be taking a jolly bus because I used to live South Camp Road. So very often Mother Camp Road, University of the West Indies. When you go up on a jolly bus, all belly pain stop in the chizzy. You forget about belly pain, you hang outside, you look outside. That was my only getaway because I never used to get to go outside, I remember taking a jolly bus to country and some rural area. And the bus was going over a steep hill. People had to come out of the bus go over the hill, and you go back into the bus. Yeah.
Some interesting.
Never say patty pan.
Yes.
What is a patty pan?
One of those buses. Yeah. And they used to go to Jonestown a lot. The smaller buses, they call them patty pan. I make whole nice too. So like a patty pan. But you see that jolly, let's put it in context, a Jamaica omnibus service. That is where the jolly bus coming from.
Let's pick up with that right after the break. Let's. Thank you for staying with us here on All Angles. We're continuing our discussion about old-time Jamaica. And before the break, we were speaking about the transportation sector, talking about jolly bus and the different types and methods of transportation, including donkey transportation that people normally use back in the days. And Fae, you were talking about some
Patty Pan, yeah, it was part of the JO. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was part of the JO's ensemble, call it that, the Jamaica Omnibus Service. But you had two sizes, I think, or mainly two. So the smaller ones they would put in communities with narrow streets. So I know the Patty Pan would come down Torrington there and then go into Jonestown. But you had the bigger buses. But there were JOS buses. But something else that we didn't talk about was the use of the dray cart. The dray cart, look at the dray cart is a cart, and it was used, very dangerous. We'd see them a lot on what is now called the Mandela Highway at night in the dark.
Oh, I call them donkey carts.
And they were pulled, dray cart, and they were pulled by a donkey, and then they were carrying a lot of coal, not only coal, but mainly coal. And when you buck up on that on a dark night, right, and sometimes they would have two tilly lamps on them to show that there's a vehicle there. But that was a form of transportation to carry coal down to the market, down...
But you can't just drop tilly lamp without telling them what tilly lamp is.
Tilly lamp is a lamp that...
It is Tilly.
Tilly's. Yeah, that's
you know
what
something?
I thought.
You know something? It could be the brand, because we did a lot of that. Like when we talk about a thermos.
It's a lantern,
Thermos
right?
is a lantern.
Yes.
Thermos is a brand, and people still talk about give me some water.
Thermos a brand?
It's a brand. Where you come
Just like
from?
how,
So what is something name?
A flask.
wait.
A flask.
It's called a flask.
Not a flask. Thermos.
That's what we call it. Thermos. Just like how we would have the lamp that we call home sweet home.
Yes.
I remember that when you have the kerosene in the bottom and,
Yes.
and the top and all of that.
Yes.
All right, so we're transitioning now to communication, and we know about the liberalization of the telecommunications market back in 2000, and most of us would know about Digicel, which was launched in 2001, and we know about the internet and social media and WhatsApp call and all of that. But long before all of that, we have some images here of the phones that they used to use. Auntie Fae, Derrick, these may ring a bell to you.
Of course, and they did ring a bell. Yeah. I didn't experience that. Oh, sure, yeah.
We call that the fridge.
Yes, yes. Any more?
Yeah, we have some others
Yes.
coming up.
Yes, I recognize that.
Right. So what was it like communicating back in the days? And I know we may go back a little further, but let's stick on the phone. What was it like communicating on the phone back
First
then?
of all, most people didn't have access to a
Right.
telephone.
Correct.
Secondly, some people had straight lines, some people had party lines. So you share a line, you would know who's your party or who's the party, because they didn't want people to know that. So they didn't have enough straight lines, they'd give you a party line. It's kind of dangerous because, and sometimes people were listening on your conversation.
Interesting.
The numbers were I'm speaking about the 60s now into the 70s. There were 5-digit numbers. So I can tell a little theatre's number because I went there in 71 as a student when drama school was 66129. And those things stick in my... So it's now 9266129. Right. So the telephone was not easy access for everybody. And then you would see people line up down at Carlton Exchange. Carlton Exchange is a halfway tree road, which part flowed in now. That name, Carlton Exchange. And them had phone boxes out there.
Because when you had ICOS to call overseas.
Well, long before ICOS.
Before we reach ICAS,
Yes.
let's put up a shot of the phone booth.
Yes.
What that looked like when people normally stand up out of the line that
Outside
you were
at
talking about.
Carlton Exchange on halfway tree road by where
Right.
Flo is.
Uh-huh.
But there also was Jam and Tell, which was downtown, both at East Parade, but also it moved on to North Street, and people would go there to send cables and all of that to their people over. And then there was this business of collect calls.
So let's paint the picture first of all, because some people may not be understanding. So you had the phone booth, and you would form a line.
Yes, and you pay.
Right.
You pay. You have your money ready.
That's the phone booth there,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. And that kind of modern too.
So you would go there and you pick up the phone and you...
You put your money in and you dial, right? Because this is a dial, you know, and you make your call.
But I remember World Talk. You know about that?
Yeah, man.
World
Well, that's
Talk?
modern.
World Talk.
Where should I come
I
from?
remember World Talk.
Explain
because
World Talk, because I'm mad on something.
when World Talk did come, it was very young with a very sharp mind. So I always remember people's number. People World Talk carried number and go home and call like a dickon. Because once you have the digit in your head, and it was about 8 digits. But I used to remember people, like, once me catch a glimpse of it, and me swatty. And me go home, me a call like crazy after people World Talk card. But it is interesting because I think the history of this country could have split in two. Those who experience the city and those who experience country.
Amen.
Because phone was so far-fetched down a country, they were not know a thing about, you know. When from my granny, I always get news at Telegram, I always come by, you know.
Yeah. I remember there was a Telegram.
Percy died. Stop. Right? It's like, yes.
Coming Tuesday.
Stop. Yeah, man.
I come to the Morse code and then the post office, and then them have somebody called a telegram boy.
And the telegram is on the screen.
And them send the telegram boy, to
run
carry this go down. And usually when you hear say a telegram, the first thing my grandmother and my mother say, who dead now?
Yeah, you
and
have
you hear,
to
Miss Emily, telegram, and then come with the telegram. And then sit down and then take a breath and then open telegram. But sometimes it is that the telegram come that your application is accepted and you're going to join the force. Those kind of things my uncle had.
And they paid for every word.
Every word you pay for.
That's why they have stop.
Oh, so you don't pay for the word stop, meaning you just pay for...
I don't remember that part there, no.
Oh. But they shortened the sentences,
yes.
And so the sentences were abbreviated, just the
Separated by
essence.
the
Yes,
stop.
And the stop is the end of a thought.
Yes.
John dead. Stop. Coming Tuesday. Stop.
Yeah, man.
What about ICAS?
God, I knew something that.
ICAS was a code that you used to make overseas calls.
Yes. So now you can just take up your cell phone with your credit, or if you're postpaid, and just make a call straight, and then you pay for it. If it's postpaid, you pay for it when your phone bill comes, and if it's prepaid, you talk until your credit done. But
And as Auntie Faye said, there was also collect calls. So if
Right.
you didn't have an ICAS, you could call the operator and ask to be placed, to place a collect call.
and the person pays for
And
it.
you would have to wait for them to accept.
Accept the need for say,
Because,
then we
yes.
accept it because then
Because
could I
they
say, are you expecting a call from Derrick Wilks? And it, depending on the relationship, no.
Yes, no.
No, we're not accepting it.
And that's a big embarrassment if you're in the, standing in line at the phone booth with people behind you trying to make a collect call, and it gets rejected. So you're
And then when they replace the middleman with an operator, with a recording device now, and you're trying to make a collect call, now people start to go around the system. Right? Because when you're going to say, accept call from Andrew, instead of saying Andrew, we will say, Keisha, her baby. Yeah, understand.
Right,
So then you accept the call, but the message goes through because it was just a recording, right? So the message goes through, kind of thing. So we did have a workaround.
And another workaround.
All right, but wait, okay, go with the workaround, then you come back to the
other workaround
ICAS.
was when you wanted to protect the phone, especially in the house when you have young people.
Put a lock on
You
it.
put a lock on it.
Yeah.
A padlock on it.
Padlock.
I did one box to through where only expose the receiver, the number part lock off.
Yes.
So you can't dial.
A
We
padlock.
found a way around it. You just tap on the little receiver thing.
Yes.
And
You
it's
know
almost
how
like doing Morse code.
Yes.
If you tap fast enough,
Yes.
you can
You know,
tap out the
Yes.
numbers.
Yes.
1,
But, yeah.
3,
Yeah.
and you just tap it.
That's
and
what
you
those
connect.
boys did. But shall I tell you, because we can't talk about communication and don't talk about Royal Mail.
All right, we will soon get to Royal
Yes.
Mail, but I brought up the point about ICAS. You said ICAS was something that that's used to make calls overseas. How would it work? Is it that everybody had ICAS? Or?
No, man. If you don't have nobody here foreign, you know.
You don't need no ICAS.
But ICAS is for those who have a little means. Yes.
I remember one person in my community had ICAS, and then they would put we call the big phones, the fridge at the time, the tight up on piece of the ledge or the post, and then people would come to the yard and wait because you're expecting Miss Pearly Grandson to call you at 2 o'clock in the afternoon from foreign. So you had a line, she calling 2, Miss Spammer called 2:30, that person calling 3 o'clock. And this was in the 90s, people, so it's not back then. So
You see
it was
community
also a thing.
spirit?
Yes.
You see community spirit? it and take care of it. They may have had to give something, right? A little money or whatever.
Contribute.
But they put the thing there. It's the same way then with the
Same way
people
with the
had
TV.
radio and TV.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
man.
put your radio where people can
Where
come and
neighbors can
listen
see or
at
listen.
special programs or the TV. People sit on the veranda, on the front door.
Outside of the window, people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You wanted to
I
make a
want to
point
talk about Royal Mail because that was part of, you're mentioning communicate, well, we are into communication. And so the letters came by Royal Mail, and it was just recently, a few years ago, that we changed to Jamaica Post, you know. And I was wondering what took us so long. But with Royal Mail now, they would have these red vans, if my memory serves me right, with the blue on it, right, and they come into the various communities driving from Kingston or with the letters, and they take them to the various post offices. And so you have airmail letter, you have the blue one, right, the light one that you do. You know how you get
That
your
airmail envelope.
you had airmail envelope, but you had airmail letter. The
yes.
blue one, it has, you know, when you open your something from, it has a paste on one side, paste on a flap on three sides and stuff. That is what the airmail letter, blue.
The letter was the envelope.
And you write inside
write
of it,
inside
and then you
the
put over the flaps,
Oh, wow.
And then you have
I've seen
airmail envelope, which was different now. It was white with
With the
blue,
red
and
Blue and red around the-
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
with
but
the
it-
stamp on it in the right
Yes,
section.
Yeah. Well, you had to put a stamp on it.
Yes.
Right. You had to buy a stamp at the post office or it not going anywhere. Yeah.
But you
You
know,
used to write letters too?
no, yeah, I used to write letters on my grandmother's behalf.
Yes.
Because she
yes.
couldn't read and write. you see.
Yes. Yes.
So she always asks me now, and that's why they always invest into my education. Before learning, before you grow old.
Right.
So me used to be the one who would write the letter for my granny to Aunt Nelly and Aunt Monica at town. And when she had telling us, so she said, put, dear Aunt Nelly, I hope when these few lines of mine reaches you, you will
Yes.
be in the best of health.
Yes.
And then she got in, Andrea. They got her kid. They hug this, did that. And so now me have to filter out some of the foolishness. But when you're done, you know, she go say, read and tell me. Tell me where you have there. And me have to remember some of the things that me did eliminate, you know, me now putting in the letter, to read it back to her so she can be satisfied that is actually in the letter that is going to be going to town to Aunt Monica and Aunt Nelly.
But you see the bonding
Yes.
between himself and his grandmother.
Yeah.
And she understood the importance of education, even though she couldn't read and write, as he said. But that letter writing was doing some till him name Miss Pearly Grandson.
So, you know how it's painful to walk 3, 4, 5 miles to post office. Post office.
And discover say, no,
Them
no,
in the
they
time,
there.
no, post office or post,
Post
office.
office.
And you walk 3, 4 miles in the 11, 12 o'clock sun. Hopeful.
Let's pick up on that story of you walking to the post office right after this break. So we're still reminiscing here on All Angles about old-time Jamaica. And before the break, Miss Pearly Grandson was telling us about his trips to the post
the
office.
pain. The pain of walking 4 or 5 miles in the sun to go to post office. And when you go, you say, any letter here for Miss Dennis? And they say, no. The post missus not get up out of her chair now, you know. But you don't know.
she knows a Miss
No,
Dennis
because
community
I want to go
Community
post office and she know who.
Community small.
She know all of the little letter them up in the little cubicle them.
Yes.
So once your kid shouldn't already know, say, no, did they feel. But you want the satisfaction of her getting up and at least looking for appease you. For say she actually looks. So you always quarrel.
So you waste your time.
Yeah, walk, go back and now beg Sky and say to yourself, say, how for me have to walk? And you never have to get up out of the chair lazy.
Forget back your letter from Auntie Monica. Right?
Get response from Aunt Monica. Right.
Or get a postal order, because that was what used to happen to money would come via postal order, and that would be coming from England. Yes.
That different from how you used to come in at the postcard then.
Yes, a different thing, not just
So
the
what
money
you
in
do,
the
exchange
card.
a postal
The postal
order
order,
for
you could
cash?
change it at the post office for cash.
Oh, nice.
Oh God, man, don't follow me.
All right, so let us transition a bit because Derrick Wilks went into his I think not sound Jamaican.
Well, actually,
Archives, that's better. to
This is
get
last
some
minute, you know,
stuff.
because when you called, I just looked around my office
Yes.
and
Derrick Sam just looked around. That means
know.
it's a museum. You have your office.
Go on, talk, yeah,
well,
Derrick.
this
Don't
is
make
more
Miss Pearly
modern.
Grandson rank with you.
But what is
This
this?
is a
Because I
camera.
asked one of the young people them what this was and they had no clue. So tell them.
So this
Turn
is a
it
camera,
round there.
and this is one of the fancy ones that has
Very
zoom
fancy.
lens
Yes.
and flash, and you could open the back and load your camera, your
Yeah, we
flip.
put the film in here.
Yes,
Flame.
film. So.
By the way, the word is film. We're Jamaicans, we have to say film.
Film.
Right.
And you have to make sure you don't overextend.
You hear it? You hear it?
Wait,
That's
pick
the
up that
sound.
sound. Go again. Let's
No,
hear the sound.
when you close
When it closes,
the
you hear
motor
the
picks up.
sound.
You put battery in a hit, man.
No.
And that is when you put the film in, it
Yeah.
winds a bit
Yeah.
to
Mercy.
load the film. The
Derrick,
film.
you know how much film we have when we never clean?
And clean means develop. That's what clean
Develop
means.
up.
Develop up.
Yes.
And what else you have?
Well, let me go a little further back. Faye would know the
Sure.
tape record. So this is the
Reel to reel.
Reel to reel.
Oh,
That's
I've
what
seen
we
that in
record
books.
audio on.
I've seen it in books.
Uncle Book, you see it, Tina? You see how saying of experiences? So, man,
She was born in the digital.
so you have one spool upon the thing over to another
And you
spool,
reel off and you-
and it
you show-
will with a
and you
play.
show.
Yes, and this, yes,
runs
this is
over the
audio reel
magnetic
to
head.
reel, yeah.
Yes.
And this is
of
it.
course, you had vinyl records.
Yes,
long
take it out and
before
show them. That's a
CDs.
45.
This is
That's
a
a
45.
45.
But the big one name.
Big one is
LP.
33.
33.
Aho.
And it's called a 45
Yes.
because it makes 45,
45
rotations per
revolutions,
minute.
yeah.
Aho.
The
Okay.
big one makes 33
Yes.
rotations.
Look how she had to go to your box.
Yeah, me, I think
We
never did
talked
it in
about
books.
developing.
Yes.
No, I see pictures are coming back.
Yes.
This is a picture from the early
Derrick,
RGRD.
wait.
Derrick,
Oh, no,
I
come.
hear dear Derrick.
Fine, Derrick.
This came from the film.
Look how
From the
him
camera.
look, how him look
And
good.
this is the film that we would develop.
Yes.
So you take
So how
it-
are you? You are
These
who?
are some
Let's
prize
take over the
winners
showbiz.
when we used to do. Radio
Auntie
quiz.
Faye, so she can get away with that.
I know me, I used
So-
to go to
Long before WhatsApp, we
Yes.
used to have to sit down and write postcards.
Of
Yes, we
back to your
did.
family. When
Yes,
you're
we
lucky enough
did.
to get a trip, and you'd write a little note on
Yes,
the
we
back
did.
Yes.
addressing them. Or if you had, before your WhatsApp friends, you had, what do you call
Pen
it?
pals.
Pen pal.
Oh, I remember that.
So your pen pals
You're
now
gonna read about
would
it, though.
give you postcards from foreign that you treasure because it would show pictures of
Where them
faraway
live.
places.
Yes.
And these were the stamps that we were
These are the
talking
stamps
about.
that you put on
Some
the,
of the stamps,
envelope.
yes.
Yeah, the kid with
There's-
with your
there's a-
tongue tip.
Yes.
There's a piece of it.
And to clean your shoes, you had,
Yeah.
this is a self-cleaning.
Oh, yes. I'm
Yeah.
familiar with that.
Even
Comes
just
with a
wipe off them shoes with a rag.
No, well,
the
that's,
shoe must
that,
clean.
that, that
Very,
is...
very sophisticated.
This is a sophisticated
That's a
one.
sophisticated one because you have the polish and you have the rag and
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
brush.
the and you have the brush to put
Shoe
on the
brush.
polish and you have the brush to shine it.
Yes, two different brushes.
Yes.
Your polished brush and your shining brush.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember coconut brush
Oh,
to polish
well,
your red
floor.
over.
Well, if you
That's
had asked me, I could have carried that because I still have that. And you knock your Johnny Crooper. Morning, Mr. Potter. Morning,
That's when you
Mr.
shine.
I'm stretching because there's a equipment here that I wanted to.
This
Wait,
is-
let me take these off though,
Yes,
so that we
please.
can
No
get
mash
the
them
Oh,
up
Jesus.
again, darling.
Wait, these are
Here.
precious
Yes.
items, you know.
Artifacts,
Oh,
please.
Yes, please. Let me move this
This was
out of
modern in its time. This is
Very.
a combination television with radio,
Radio.
and you could pull out the Walkman. Now, if you've ever heard of the Walkman,
Yes.
cassette. If you take
the
out the
cassette here.
cassette,
I know cassette anti-fair.
No, but hold on a minute now, Derrick. You know, see what they do to we artists right now.
So you stick the
You know, so they
cassette.
separate up the things and I charge for them.
Exactly.
There you go.
I thought
It's a
you all
high
didn't
tech
realize.
something, radio, TV, and mobile.
Exactly.
In a one?
In one.
yes. So you stick the cassette in your Walkman, close it, press play.
Oh,
and you have
God.
on
You
your
hang
hip
it on your
with
side.
your headphone, and you ride your bicycle or
Oh,
your skateboard
gosh.
or walking around with your music.
This TV
And talk to us
trigger
about
me.
this now.
Well,
That's
this,
where it's held.
yes, so
yeah.
this is part of the combination.
Yeah.
But this is modern when it came out. Because, like I said, it includes the television and the radio.
Derrick is
And the
still modern.
Walkman.
And this one, in
Still modern.
fact, has the connections for cable. So you can,
Cable?
yes, so you can connect your cable. And
Remember, there was a
watch
thing
foreign
called
TV.
dish, you know.
Yes.
There's a
And
thing
then
called
this is the
dish.
antenna. You have to make sure that
And this is
is
the
up.
antenna you have to pull up
Yes.
to receive
get
the
the-
signal.
Yes.
Signal.
So what was the signal like for you, though?
You
back in
understand?
St. Elizabeth?
It's signal never bad, you know. I see this and I'm triggered because I'm there to walk out a black boy shop with the car battery. Because we never have no light. So my granny, they get me. No, where she get one little TV like that one time for borrow. Me always have to carry the car battery, go to a black boy shop, go charge it, and come hook up the TV, the little black and white TV. And where we have hook up for now? News with Helen Coley Nicholson and sports with Lindy De La Pena. That's them the things we are watching, international stories. And we see the little children over Africa now, when them time they used to have famine and sinty. When my granny give me 5 dumplings, them, she see how much dumpling you get, boy. Yes. Them picking your Africa and have them that kind of luxury, you know. So you have to make sure so you walk when me ask if you do things around the house. You understand? Because you earn. You think, but yes, the TV.
And of course, when you have the television, if you're not picking up the signal properly, somebody will have to go out and jiggle
Spin
the
the pole.
antenna.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
But
Spin the pole and
What I
jiggle the
remember,
wire.
before you get in TV, what I remember is you talk about spinning the pole with the black and white TV. So somebody outside spinning the
Yes.
pole, and you would keep a big stone beside the big back TV, not a flat screen, a big back TV. And if the signal not coming as clear as you wanted, you take the stone and give the TV one lick. Boom on the side. You hear boom, and you lick it again. Boom, and you spin the pole.
Yes.
And then somebody else say, turn it the other way.
Yes.
See this,
Right.
And-
Sometimes I saw you stay, you know.
And if you are the one outside spinning the pole, you probably have to stay there and hold
Hold
the
it.
pole
Yes,
while people are watching
miss the
TV.
show.
Yes.
So let me tell you about pole. You're talking about pole for TV. The radios in the 50s and the 60s and maybe into the 70s, Telefunken radios, that was one brand. It had a battery the size of this, a 30-shilling battery, because remember, we were pound, shillings, and pence, and we'd changed that in September 1969. So you had a battery. Then a bamboo pole on the outside. You have the blue wire, which you put at the top of the pole, and you use a drink bottle, which was glass, and you cut it to hold that down. And then the brown wire was a grounding wire, and you put that under the house in the cellar, so that when lightning strike and those things, mash up the radio or burn down the house or whatever. So the pole was very important. So you use it for TV, but we did have a TV.
Protection.
I used it for we use it for radio, and the big 30-shilling battery with the different cells in it. My cousin, he went into technical side. He went to Kingston Tech, so he would take out the cells sometimes and make the sun revitalize.
On barbecue. You put it on the barbecue.
Yeah, right.
Your
But yeah, so you had the
barbecue
blue wire.
No,
yeah.
the part of the tank will catch the water catchment system for the tank.
Barbecue.
The country we call it barbecue.
Or you have a real barbecue where you dry produce.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Coffee
Pimento.
and pimento and chocolate and the rest of it. But you had to have that. The blue wire go to the top, a cut off glass bottle to hold it down, and the brown wire go under the house as a grounding wire. Ask the engineer them, they must know about why you have to ground things.
I will ask them. So we're almost at the end of the show. And when you reflect on how Jamaica was then and what is happening now, what are some of the, should I call it, norms or values that you want us to see coming back into our society
Manners.
as a people?
Oh, you know,
Let's
so
go
the
around the
man's going
table
to go.
quickly for 30 seconds each, because they soon tell me to wrap. Yes,
Manners.
sir.
I think we had more manners. When you go on the bus, you get up for pregnant women and old people. Now you see them just sit down and spread out and looking at your face like, awa. We had
We cared about each
Yes.
other, yeah? Respectability, because it's similar to what Derrick just said, and also showing a better understanding of the country, Jamaica. I came up as an independent person. I was born in the 50s. I was there on the day when we hoisted our flag at school and got our independence mugs, right? With the coat of arms on there. And there was something that was imbued in us about the importance of achieving independence and what that should mean for us as individuals, what we should achieve for ourselves and for our country. The for country is not so much where it needs to be, in my mind. Not by everybody, but I think some people need to think about country.
For me, it's community. And you mentioned it earlier. There was a deeper sense of community. There was a deeper sense of each one reaching one. People cared more about each other. My granny always sent me with things go give people because she knows that somebody have baby over there and they can't sort out any thing for themselves. So she said, carry this, I go give so and so. And so as a little boy, I was almost, you know, the person who did the running and the carrying and so on and so forth. People cared more about each other. But when I was growing up, when somebody died in the community, you talk about communication. We never have no cell phone.
What you do?
We ball out on the top of the lungs. Yes. Whoa. Yes.
Ooh, and it travels.
And it travels in the airwaves,
Yeah.
and people run from adjoining communities and come gather around and so on and so forth. So there was a deeper sense of community at the time. Now we have communication, yes, but you can send me a message, Andrea, I may send you a LOL, and my facial expression don't change.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
And
Them
when
the time we
people
always sit down
come,
and
it's not
talk.
too fast.
No, it's the support.
And they were,
support.
this part I cannot stand. They came and brought things to
Yes.
the yard of the dead. Now them come for yam you out.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind shop and
There's a
clean
time
out
when
the
people
house.
always walk with things in them hand because they say
Yeah.
they can't go empty-handed.
Can't go empty-handed.
You get me? So there's a
No, them
deeper
don't leave
sense of
empty-handed.
community.
No.
The connection was greater.
Yeah.
You know, because of the sense of community again. People used to sit down and laugh, belly full laugh,
knew your
under a
neighbor.
mango tree. You know, you still queer down so I hear people and laughter in the air.
And you had day for day, which part you come from? We call it morning sport,
what?
day for day. So you have piece of land that need to clear out. So
Oh, yeah.
everybody in the community come, then
Yeah,
bush
yeah.
the land, then fork up the land, and then them plant them peas and then corn and thing, and the women cook and stuff.
And
then
go next one.
week now, a few time, and we go over there. No money, no pass, a community that.
Community.
Well,
So
I...
day for day was St. Elizabeth, morning sport in Clarendon.
Well, as we reflect on the day for day and the morning sport, that's what you call it?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope that as we listen to these stories of what Jamaica was then and what it is now, we'll have a better sense of where we're coming from as a people, and we'll try to rekindle some of that Jamaican spirit that encompassed us as a nation. Thank you so much for joining us for All Angles this evening, and thanks to our panelists. We have, I just call him Miss Pearly Grandson. I can't remember your right name. Andrew Dennis, Miss Pearly Grandson, Fae Ellington, and Derrick Wilks. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Happy Independence, Jamaica.